The problem was not all the apostles, let alone all the members, agreed with it. They saw it as a political ploy. There were several church leaders, including Heber J. Grant, who was a member of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles at the time, who wrote very pointed letters to Joseph F. Smith saying, you are betraying our cause and we need to stand firm on our doctrine. They actually said that the whole Reed Smoot thing is a disaster and we need to call him back and we shouldn't give any concessions abroad. But Joseph F. Smith moved forward, and eventually the next year, the target from the national government focused on 3 Mormon apostles. Merrill Mariner, who was an older apostle, John W. Taylor, the younger son of John Taylor, and Matthias Cowley. All of these three were apostles, and the government had clear evidence that all 3 were still solemnizing plural unions. Now, Merrill eventually dies due to old age, so he falls out of the attention, but both Taylor and Cowley refused to testify in Congress. They also refused to stand up and support the Second Manifesto. So both of them were dropped from the Quorum of the 12 Apostles at the April Conference of 1905 to the gasps of the general LDS audience. And all 3 of those apostles, Merrill, Taylor, and Cowley, were replaced by monogamous apostles, a embodied shift of the church's priorities. That continued on for several more years. And in fact, it wasn't until 1909 when there was further media attention on the continued polygamous sealings taking place in the LDS Church. At this point, the first presidency of the Quorum of the 12 basically took a don't ask, don't tell policy, to where they kind of winked and nodded to stake presidents, high priests, temple sealers, and temple presidents to continue doing plural marriages, just don't tell the leaders. But by 1909 and 1910, Joseph F. Smith decided, no, it is time to cut it out entirely.